18 million credits for this Porsche 917K. That's a lot of money, and even in the fastest potential grinding method, that's 11 to 12 hours of gameplay of grinding. So this car better be worth it. In this video, I'm going to try the Sardegna World Touring Car 800 with the Porsche 917K. Is it even possible to win this race in the Porsche 917K? I don't know. I'm going to try my best. I've got a setup on the car. Let's see how this one works out. If we get the win, I'm going to share the setup with you. Let me know in the comments below. Do you own the Porsche 917K in Gran Turismo 7 yet? Or are you interested in buying it? This tune is fully de-restricted. No power restrictions, no ballast on the car. So we are got complete raw power from this Porsche. And first of all, guys, we're going to run it in fuel map number 4. We're running fuel map number 4 right from the start. This is going to put us in the window of the two-stop strategy, pitting at the end of lap number 5 and at the end of lap number 10. We're going to be running the racing medium tyres because they are going to work for us. And actually, guys, I've found the brake balance controller. I've added the brake balance controller, and we're running brake balance all the way to the front to try and save those rear tyres. And the car is very, very wild to drive. Now, this setup could do with a little bit more work, maybe. In second gear, third gear, on corner exits, the car's got way more power than the grip available, and it can be a little bit wild. A lot of the corners on this track, which are normally flat in a Group 3 or a Group 2 car, you have to lift, you have to really be cautious through the corners, especially on corner exits. We almost lose the car coming onto the main straight. This car doesn't have a great deal of downforce. I'm using a maximum rear downforce and a little bit less than maximum front downforce because it can be quite biased towards the front end. On the brakes, this car isn't great at all. You have to be on the brakes very early. The 200 boards, the 150 boards are going to be your braking references for many of the big stops on this track here. And we have got great power though. We can blow many cars off on the straights. It's just through the corners and especially corner exits. And you feel so incredibly low in this Porsche 917. Look, we're at half the height of that big boy BMW there. We're going to sneak around the outside there. Sneak attack from this lightweight, small Le Mans Classic. And we are going to go purple in the first sector. Through this corner, you've got to wait an age to get on the gas. And when you do get on the gas, the car wants to over-rotate. But now we're on the straight, and look at the power of this car. We're almost topping 300 kilometers an hour by the time we get to the end of the straights. Looking up now, between the 200 and the 150 board is where we brake. And we are all good for this corner here. We're actually going to twat the inside of the barrier and really almost lose the car. No damage to the car, luckily. And look at the on corner exits, the car is so wild. Yeah, so I almost just wrote off our 18 million credits car. And look at the car here. I was really lucky to catch that one. Lift off oversteer is a problem in this car. We can help that a little bit with the LSD. On my 700 pp setup for the Le Mans World Touring Car 700, we could fix that with ballast. We could add ballast to the car and then put the ballast right to the front. Because we're running really towards the high end of the PP that this car can be tuned towards, there's no ballast on the car, so the car is very heavily rearward bias, which makes it a nightmare with lift off oversteer. It is possible to drive. Got to be cautious on them corner exits. On the brakes at the end of the straight now, you brake just as you go over the crest and you can get that car stopped into turn 1. Never ever use first gear in this car. It's absolutely mad. You definitely do not want to. Second gear, be very cautious on corner exits. Third gear is still pretty wild, and fourth gear and above, you can probably start to be more aggressive with your throttle inputs. But we've got the car dialed in now, and we're up to 5th place on the track. Skipping forwards now onto the main straight, and we're going to get a bit wide here. So almost lose the car. Almost take an unforced pit stop. We're going to pits next lap. Paul Tiller's going to be making his pit stop on this lap. End of lap number 5 now, and we're going to be just about okay on fuel. Tyre wear is quite significant. You can start to feel those tyres degrade, but I think medium tyre is the right tyre to be on. We're going to fully fuel the car. Hard tyres stay more consistent throughout the stint, but they just don't quite have enough grip at the early part of the stint. You really need the medium tyres to just settle the back end of that car. We're going to fully fuel the car. And yeah, it's going to take an age. The fuel stops, maybe it's a big tank or maybe it's a slow fill rate, but I felt like the pit stop in this car in particular took a lot longer than other cars that I remember doing. Exiting the pits at Sardegna always stays super far to the right hand side because it's incredibly dangerous to come out the pits with the AI coming down the main straight. And we're coming out in 14th position. That seems pretty bad. We've got a big tall order here, guys, to try and win this one back. How far off the lead are we? 20 something seconds off the lead of the race. Lap number 8 now, towards the end of lap number 8. Portilla's going to pit again, and so is Fraga, and we're going to get to the lead of this race, which is good. We're the best lap of the race for ourselves, 138 point something. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to try this one, and let me know what lap times you get. Let me know what race time you get. I'm really interested to know your feedback. End of lap number 10 now is our second pit stop now. We're going to make it on fuel. Again, the tyres are looking a little bit ropey, but because we've got the brake balance all the way to the front, we've tried to balance that front and rear tyres. I have another video on my channel explaining everything you need to know about brake balance in Gran Turismo 7. Quick pit stop there where the guys fast forwarded, and we're going to exit the pits, and we should be free to race to the end of this race. Oh, here comes Portilla. He's got the overspeed on us. This car is shocking on the brakes, so he's going to do us on the brakes into turn 1, which isn't ideal, but it does give us a chance to drive behind him and see how this car matches up for performance. You can see power wise, I think we've got him covered. We can close in massively on the gas, but it's through the mid-speed corners and corner exits where we really start to suffer. Sneaking, looking for the inside here, but look at him on corner exit. A lot more confidence, a lot more power out the corners. So yeah, we are suffering here. And through this long left-hander, I understeered on this corner more times than I care to mention. That one was an oversteer on corner exit. This car is incredibly hard to drive. I wouldn't recommend this as a grinding car, to be honest. If you have skipped beyond this part of the video and straight to the tune at the end of the video, you won't be hearing what I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to recommend this car for a grinding car. This car is only usable if you want to use... Oh, a bit of popping a wheelie there off the curb. I only recommend to use this car if you want to drive the car. If you want to use the car, it is possible to win this race. And you can have a good time wrestling the car doing so, but it is certainly not the most efficient way to make money. It's going to cost you an absolute fortune to buy the car in the first place, and the race time is going to be 30 to 40 seconds slower than you can with some of my other tunes. I've got them available on my channel, so it's not the most efficient method. But oh my god, you get to drive a Porsche 917 around the high-speed Sardegna track, and it is so much fun to drive. The challenge of doing so, I'm playing this on hard difficulty, and we're going to come across the line now. Last lap of the race, little twitch on the exit of the final corner of the race, get that win. And what is going to be our race time? Now in the Ferrari Group 3 car, I can do it 25 minutes, 25 seconds, 26 minutes, 16 seconds. So I bet it's about a minute off of the absolute fastest I can do this, which isn't ideal. It isn't the most efficient money-making method. But all the same, you're driving a fantastic Porsche 917 and making money doing so. Now, here is the tune. I'm going to go through all the details now. It's quite similar to the 700 pp tune, but there's no ballast, no power restriction. 100% all of those. I did find the brake balance controller. I used it onto -5 for the brake balance, so all the way to the front. And differential, I did raise the differential. Here's the gear ratios. I didn't change them much. The braking sensitivity on the differential, I did raise it to 50. Maybe try 60 because that will stabilize it a bit more on the brakes. And finally, of course, using the racing medium tires. So is it the best way to make money in Gran Turismo 7? No is the simple answer to that one. But it is possible to use the Porsche 917K at 700 pp at the Le Mans circuit to grind for credits. It's possible to use it at 800 pp with the setup in this video to grind for credits at Sardegna. This one is a little bit more difficult than the Le Mans one for sure. But if you've spent 18 million on the Porsche, why wouldn't you want to use it? So I recommend trying this setup out, trying the race. It's incredibly difficult, but it gives you a good challenge. It's really great. You're driving a Porsche 917K and you're able to make money using that car. If you have enjoyed this video, then make sure you hit that like button, consider subscribing, hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I'm going to either help you get faster in Gran Turismo 7 or give you some great tunes to earn some serious credits as you go through the game. On screen will be links to other videos which you may find very interesting. Make sure you go and check those ones out. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.